And I was like, holy crap, this is insane. This book is nuts. I cannot put into words how emotional this book was, how intense this book was, how funny it was, from page 1 to the fetching epilogue. It's all great.
Stuff is getting set up, but stuff's also getting paid off. And I am going to give you both the entire way through. And even though I'm going to let something get paid off, it'll still be a little bit of setup.
I haven't given a Dungeon Crawler Carl book a perfect 10 out of 10 yet, and this one is. Yep. Like, this book was so good.
The Butcher's Masquerade, Book 5, Dungeon Crawler Carl. We're back and we're here to talk about it.
Yep. First little bit, we're going to be talking spoiler-free, and then we're going to get into spoilers of the book. Jay, spoiler-free thoughts. What'd you think?
I think it's probably the best book so far. I know one of the earlier things that I saw about Dungeon Crawler Carl was that the later books, they get a little bit harder to keep track of the characters and the plot lines. And I'm starting to see that a little bit. I do get where people are coming from. That doesn't really bother me very much. I like it to be complex. I like things to come back into play that like I kind of have forgotten. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's the chaos that I love Dungeon Crawler Carl for.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even like just comparing the size of like the first book to this book, it's like, look at how much bigger this sucker is. Like, this book is massive. We're getting to a point now in Dungeon Crawler Carl where I don't see it not getting confusing if you're not following along with everything that's going on. But also, I mean, I'm liking them more than the shorter books. Like, the first 3 books I thought were really good. I had a lot of fun with them. But The Gate of the Feral Gods and then this one, it's just like, if it only gets better from here, I can only imagine how hyped I'm going to be come book 8. Because we haven't read, this is our first time reading all of these books. For people who haven't been paying attention, we've got reviews for the last 4 books on our channel. My spoiler-free thoughts, this book, it blew me away. I was like, from the get-go, like, this book starts off and it feels different. And I'm a little bit through book 6 right now, and it feels that same way, so I'm excited to see where it goes. But this book, I mean, it has everything that I've loved so far about Dungeon Crawler Carl, and it just like turns it up to an 11 because it's like you have such higher stakes. You're so much more attached to these characters. I mean, spoilers for the previous 4 books. If you haven't read the previous 4 books, I'm not going to say.
You should go back.
Go back. Read those first 4 books because we're going to get into spoilers. You have things that have been set up in book 1, like everything with B, that finally like reach a conclusion in this book. And that's what I love about Matt Dinniman in Dungeon Crawler Carl as a whole is he writes himself into corners and then he comes up with like the most creative way to deal with that. And because it's like,
and if it's a plot line that has reached its natural conclusion, he doesn't pound on it.
No, he doesn't.
He lets it go, and I like that.
Yeah. This book especially, like, there's a moment in here where I think it's like chapter 19. I was like tearing up because it's like you've had 4 books dealing with this specific situation, and in this book it finally reaches like a conclusion, and it just, you feel it. You feel the conclusion. And that's what Matt Dinniman does so different than other authors, is he's able to have crazy, ridiculous things like starting meth wars with the goblins and the llamas. And it's like, that's ridiculous. And you would think that like a series that deals with goblins and meth llamas isn't going to like have substance.
Serious character moments.
The series does.
Yeah.
And overall, this book, I haven't given a Dungeon Crawler Carl book a perfect 10 out of 10 yet, and this one is. Yep. Like, this book was so good. I was glued. Like, I started it on Monday, and I was done with it by, like, Thursday.
And this is not a short book.
No, it's like 700 pages.
Yeah.
It's a long book, but, I mean, and I got to give props. We got to continue to give props to Jeff Hayes, because the audiobook is just on another level. Like,
He brings it every time, and he like keeps upping it somehow.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, and there's a song at the end of this one, at the end of the audiobook, that you don't get in the book, but it's like just Jeff Hayes singing a version of Wonderwall, and it's like so catchy, and I'm like, I love it. And another thing that I love about this book is the characters that we've been dealing with, they're growing. Like, nobody is the same character from the first book. They're not the same anymore. No. Like, Donut, as a character, has always been the one that's, like, teetering on the edge of, like, okay, Carl has to, like, keep Donut in line. And this book, she's the one, and kind of in the last book, which I got to point out, I did want to bring this up. You guys reviewed The Gate of the Feral Gods last week. There's a scene in The Gate of the Feral Gods where Carl is, like, given a opportunity, not opportunity, it sounds wrong. He's given a choice to kill Chris because Chris is trapped, and Donut teleports him out of there. She's like, nope, you're not going to do that. You don't need that kind of weight on you. And it's like, that moment there, she took that choice away from Carl because she is protecting Carl. And I'm like, that is where the dynamic shifted for me.
But it feels natural because he sets these seeds in, like, the first couple of books where Carl's talking about how he knows that there is more to Donut than is being let on.
Yeah.
He is constantly planting these seeds for these characters to grow.
Right.
It all feels so natural. And that's what I like about it. None of these character decisions come out of left field.
No, none of them do. And it feels like Matt Dinniman, he understands the characters and he understands. It doesn't feel, never at any point in this series have I felt like he doesn't have a plan of where he's going to go. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like every single book, I'm like, okay, he's got a plan. He knows where this series is going to end. And I kind of love that.
Yeah.
Because I don't ever feel shortchanged when I finish a Dungeon Crawler Carl book. I'm never like, oh man, that was a waste. We just needed to get to a floor. And I mean, I don't know. I don't really have much more to add spoiler free wise. I can't praise this book enough. If you haven't read the first 4 books, I highly recommend it. This one is a 10 out of 10.
There is one part in this book where, like, there's a couple of characters that don't matter off screen or talking, and they don't know that Carl can hear. And they're, like, talking about Carl's survival odds with this floor. And they're talking, and he's listening in, and they're saying, it's going to be so chaotic that anybody else would die, but that's where Carl thrives. And I'm like, that's so cool. Yeah. And that's this book to a T. It is chaos, but it is Carl's chaos. Mm-hmm. And, like, he thrives in it. And I love how Matt Dinniman is able to make these chaotic situations feel like they make sense.
Yeah. You got anything else for spoiler-free thoughts?
No, I think...
What's your rating?
I think I'm going to give it like a 5 out of 5. I really liked it.
10 out of 10 for people who don't do math. 5 out of 5. All right, let's jump into spoilers then. I could just go straight to the epilogue because the epilogue is so awesome, but I think we need to go in order. And I think we got to talk about, this book is split into 4 different parts. Mm-hmm. And it starts off with Carl talking to somebody from the Borant Corporation. And they're like, hey, you need to give up the Gate of the Feral Gods.
Well, he's like a liaison. He's, like, supposed to be an impartial third party.
Yeah.
But, like, obviously he works for the Borant Corporation.
Yeah. And Carl's like, no way. I want a lawyer because I'm not going to give this to you guys. And the lawyer that shows up is like this seedy Saul Goodman type lawyer, but he's getting stuff done. Yeah. And that kind of sets the stage for what's going to happen at the end of this book, because the lawyer is constantly working behind the scenes, and he's like, hey, we're going to make this work. We're going to get Carl what he needs.
And what another home run of a character to add to the fifth book. You're adding, like, a character that I already care about in a series of characters that I care about. And I love that about Matt Dinniman. Jeff Hayes, he finds a way to make him feel unique. Yeah. That's the coolest part about all this. Like, his voice that he gives these characters is like, holy cow, dude, how do you keep doing it?
Right. Yeah, and Carl needs the Gate of the Feral Gods because he made a promise to Juicebox. He's like, hey, I'm going to get all of the changelings. I'm going to get them to the 6th floor?
Yeah.
Or 7th floor?
His goal is to keep bringing them further.
And at the end, they become his army, right?
Yeah.
Like, that is where it eventually ends up.
Which is so
the
cool.
Changelings are his army now.
Yeah.
Like, it's so awesome. Carl, I mean, chapter 5, that's the point where I was like, okay, this is a different book. Because Carl, he says at the end of the last book, he's like, every single hunter is going to die. Nobody is going to survive. No hunter is going to be left at the end.
And spoilers, none of them do.
Right off the bat, in chapter 5, no less. You're not even that deep into the book. He is already like rushing a capital and like killing as many hunters as he possibly can before the game even starts. Before the hunters are even there, Carl's going in and killing
Because
all these
there's
people.
only one place where these guys can like stay, and it's this one city, and they have to stay at that one city. And he's like, I know this because of the cookbook, and I'm gonna bum rush that city.
Yeah. And then you have the introduction of the like kind of the main villain of this book, which is Bra.
Yeah.
And introduced there because he sees her, right? Like he sees her and he's like, that's the one that needs to die. And he tries to blow her up and she lives.
But he kills her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that kind of sets the stage for, okay, now she's got a vendetta against Carl and Carl understands that. And the way that all plays out is so funny and so Matt Dinniman, Dungeon Crawler Carl humor, but it feels so real. Which is what I love, is like, yeah, this person would be pissed off. The mom would get involved. The mom would cheat to get her daughter to wherever she is at the end of this book. So, and then Donut kills the mayor of that town, and then she becomes the mayor, and Mordecai's got to, like, program all these people to, like, okay, you gotta follow Donut's orders now. And just Donut as a mayor is funny as an idea.
Yeah.
Which, I'll say Donut is the MVP of this book. Donut... I mean, she's been great the last 4 books, but she shines in this book.
Yeah.
Donut is on another level in this book.
I agree.
I think I already mentioned it in chapter 19, where she's got to hold in her emotions when B shows up. They set up this interview, and
With Audette.
And she's got to control herself because this entire time she's playing a character where she's like, okay, I still love B. I still care about B. And she has to pretend that, and Carl, you're getting his perspective of it because he's holding Donut as they're interviewing her. They're talking to Audette and B. She's there, and he can just feel Donut like trembling is the word that he uses, and that got me. I'm like, man, Donut is a complex character. Donut isn't just playing it stupid the entire time. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to manipulate the audience to like be in her favor. And she just plays along the whole time, and then as soon as the cameras are off, she lets
blows
loose
off the handle.
Which that is like my favorite moment in the book, because it was like you have 4 books leading up to this of, does Donut know? Does she not know that B tried to get rid of her?
And if you're paying attention, you know that she knows.
Yeah.
You know that Donut knows because of the way that Carl is talking about Donut and the way that Donut like reacts to certain situations. You know she's not a stupid character. She's not a liability. She's not just a kid. She picks up on things. So I was going into this pretty sure that I knew that Donut knew that B was going to give her up.
Yeah.
But to finally have confirmation of that in this way was such a huge character moment for Donut.
Yeah, it really was. And I couldn't be more like fist pumping in the air when she just tells B off and is like, yeah, Carl's weird. Carl smells funny. Carl does all these weird things, but he's good and he cares about you and he cares about me. And it's like, man, that's just such a great moment in this book. The book, Donut steals the show. And then
I also love that with that whole thing, it's kind of designed to throw Carl off, but he doesn't let it.
yeah.
Like he's like the entire time he's like, I'm over this.
Yeah.
We're so past this.
Yeah. We gotta talk about that, because it's like you would think any other author, you've been setting this up from book 1. You've got Carl has been dealing with B cheating on him, and at this point in book 5, Carl is 6 dungeons in, and he doesn't care. He's like, no, I gotta survive. I don't care about you anymore, B. I've got to do other stuff. Mm-hmm. What you did was wrong, and you screwed me over, and you screwed Donut over, and he just moves on. He doesn't even think about it.
It's a different world now.
Yeah, he is done. He's done.
Yeah,
and I love that. I love that it's just like, okay, 1 chapter, we're done.
Yep.
I still don't think Brad, is that the boyfriend's name?
Yeah.
The guy she cheated on with? I don't think Brad is dead. I think Brad is going to show back up somehow.
I hope not. I think that's so boring.
I don't know, man. The fact that he died off screen, I'm just like, it would be...
He didn't die off screen, though.
I mean, you don't, it doesn't say for certain that he died.
Yeah, but it's pretty... Okay, well,
I hope
he doesn't come back.
I could be wrong, but I don't know. But yeah, any other author, they wouldn't be able to pull that off, to be able to, okay, one chapter and you're done, and it not feel earned.
Yeah.
Like if it was any other author and they were doing it, it would be like, hey, we've been dealing with this for 5 books now, and this is the end result. I would feel a little underwhelmed, a little shortchanged. But with Carl, you're inside his head the entire time, and you're like, yeah, you shouldn't care. Like this, what they're trying to do is break you. And Carl's mantra this entire time is, "You will not break me." And they don't break him.
They don't even phase him.
No.
Yeah.
And it's so awesome.
Another thing going forward that I really am interested to see where we're going with Audette. I have no idea how she plays into anything.
Yeah,
Who is she playing for? Is she Team Audette only? Is she like trying to end the games? Is she like the second author of the Dungeon Crawler cookbook? Where does she lie? Where do you think she's going?
I mean, you would know if she was an author of the cookbook.
No, I know she's not. But like, is she like the second author? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's the sponsor for Carl that like is like dropping hints and kind of pushing him. He's trying to end the games.
Yeah. I don't know. I think she has her own agenda. To me, I view her more as like a Hoyd character from the Cosmere. I think she's got her own agenda, and she's going to do whatever it takes to get her thing done. Whatever her job is. And again, we're still not even clear what it is yet.
Yeah.
But I just feel like we've been setting it up to where Audette is doing something. She's hiring people to like give information out.
And why did she get B? What was that? Why did she do that?
I don't know. I don't know if she has sympathy for what they were going to do with her, because there were pirates or something that had her beforehand, right?
Yeah.
And they did horrible things. I don't know. They don't really get into it. So maybe she just saved her from that, and she cares about views. I mean, that's her introduction, right? And this book is like, what's your motive, Audette? And she's like, money. End of the chapter. She's like, I care about money and views.
Yeah.
You're giving me that.
And she's been very clear about that from the start.
But I don't know if that's a character.
I don't either. That's where Audette is very interesting to me, because she's off screen, but she's doing stuff. And she's a big player in this world. And I don't know where she's going.
Yeah, I don't either. And I think, I mean, we still don't even know what the beef is with Mordecai and Audette and that one guy that he punches in the face in the train one, right? That's when he shows up.
Yeah.
Like, we still don't have that backstory. Like there is stuff that has been set up that has no payoff quite yet. And so figuring out what Mordecai's deal is.
Chaco,
yeah. We don't know yet. So, yeah, if I have any complaint really about the series going forward, when it came to book 2, Mordecai was like one of my favorite, and I know we had hang on, I got to get that commenter's name right. We have one of the commenters on our Dungeon Crawler Carl videos, Musta Crackish. Apologies if I got your name wrong, but you made a point a couple episodes back where you're happy that Mordecai is like out of the spotlight and the crew is figuring out what they're doing. I don't necessarily love that. I like Mordecai as a character, and it seemed like from 3 onward, like Mordecai has taken such a backseat, and he's only there to just like kind of give.
Well, he even says it in this book. He's like, nobody listens to Mordecai anymore because you're all so crazy that you keep changing the rules of the dungeon. And I kind of like that, but at the same time, I get where you're coming from.
I liked Mordecai. Like I want Mordecai to be a character that I can relate to and be like, hey, I like your story, but it's been so long since we've had like Mordecai stuff, Mordecai lore, that I'm like, okay, well, are we done with Mordecai? Like, I hope not. I hope we get more, but that's my only complaint about this book. I'm not even kidding. Just my only complaint is I don't have enough Mordecai. Yeah. But I'm cool with that. Like, I'm fine if I don't have enough Mordecai. But where was I? What were we talking about?
We talk about like Signet and that stuff.
Oh yeah, so Signet shows back up. This is like the main quest, right?
Yeah, but it feels like even the showrunners of the Signet show know that the show's gonna end at the end of this floor, and
we haven't even explained like what the Butcher's Masquerade is yet. Do you want to explain?
Oh yeah. So the Butcher's Masquerade is like this party at the end of the level where all of the hunters and the crawlers and like the boss, the floor boss, is that what they're called? The country boss?
Yeah.
The country boss is there, And all three of those factions are like having to be peaceful. And so they're having this party, and that's what the Butcher's Masquerade is.
And they know something is up. Like, they know this isn't just going to be a party. Like, they know that it's going to end with a lot of people dying because it's in the cookbook, right? Like, they talk about...
The Butcher's Masquerade is a new thing.
Oh, okay. So
this is the first time the Butcher's Masquerade has happened. No. Carl is like actively like writing about it as he goes.
Oh, okay. That's what I was reading. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's what the Butcher's Masquerade is. Leading up to it, do you want to explain the quest that they're on with Signet?
So Signet wants to go and, from what I understand, she wants to reclaim her kingdom?
Well, yeah, because what is that girl's name? The Queen.
Imogen? No, Imogen, yep.
Imogen, the Queen in book 2, right? Book 2. That's when you find out Signet's backstory. You find out that Imogen killed her mom and took the throne for herself, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what Signet's whole thing is she wants to get that back. And so now she's back because every 3rd, 6th, and 9th floors
3, 6, and 9, yep.
are going to have, like, a continuing storyline.
Yeah.
And so we're back with Signet, which I really like Signet as a character, and I think she gets more interesting here. I like, spoiler, she does sacrifice herself, which was, like, a shocking moment for me. I wasn't expecting that because it's like Carl's explaining it. He's like, you need somebody to sacrifice, you need somebody to be the sacrifice, and you need somebody to what was it? There was like a third thing.
You have to like be doing something with the spell.
Yes, but you could be all three, and then you're like, oh crap, that's what's going to happen. She's going to kill herself because the whole time Carl's been talking to her and like, how do I tell her that, like, this isn't real? Like, you're a computer program. Like, none of this is real.
And that's the cool part, is she figures it out on her own.
Yeah.
She's going and talking with the Empress of what's her name?
Imogen?
No, it's not even Imogen. It's like a real person on the outside, like an Empress on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
Is the one that, like...
There's so many names.
She basically tells her, everything about you is fake. And everything about this whole situation is made up. And that, like, it opens Signet's eyes. And she's like, well, then I'm going to kill myself to save you guys.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really cool moment.
Yeah, it's very well done. Everything with Vra is interesting at the end because her mom comes in. And it gets pretty crude.
And her mom's dead, right? That whole bloodline is dead now, right?
I think so. They gotta all be gone. Like,
yeah.
At the end of the book, so Carl comes up with this like super elaborate plan. I'm just making sure we haven't missed anything. Oh yeah, Lucia Mar.
Lucia Mar and Mar Pepetente's.
Oh yeah.
Pepetente what's her name? Miriam Dom.
Yeah, Miriam Dom.
Dude, Miriam Dom, that part fetched me up.
Yeah, we're kind of all over the place here, but there's just so much to talk about in this book.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, because Miriam Dom and Prepotente, like those two are Miriam Dom becomes a vampire. Right?
In the last floor, yeah.
Yeah. And so in this book, what happens where she's got to die? Like
she accidentally spreads the vampirism to like
a bunch of dinosaurs, and they become like super overpowered. And the only way to there's a vampire hunter that gets involved with Miriam Dom's storyline. Yeah.
Because she's a vampire now. And they did that on purpose. And so at the beginning of this floor, they're hunting the vampire hunter that's like an established character from before, is hunting down Miriam Dom. And Miriam Dom and Prepotente are trying to kill this vampire hunter. And so what's going on is Miriam Dom gets into a situation where Prepotente is trying to save her, but it backfires, and it's going to kill Prepotente if Miriam Dom doesn't sacrifice herself.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very beautiful moment because it's a parallel between... It's a very clear foil for Donut and Carl, Miriam Dom and Prepotente.
Yeah.
Like he's been setting that up since he introduced Miriam Dom as a character. It's like, yep, this is going to be like the foil to Donut and Carl. And I love the payoff for this because it's so like, okay, now we get to see what Donut would be like if she was on her own through Prepotente.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see Donut on her own, but I am curious about it. And Prepotente is a way to show us that without actually doing it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's.
But it's so beautiful. Like it's heartbreaking. Miriam dying.
And there's a moment there too where you kind of question, like, okay, what is Carl okay with versus what is he not okay with? Because there's the moment where Miriam Dom asks Carl, like, can you kill me? Can you do this? And he's like, no, I won't do it. I'm not going to be the one to kill you, but I'll be with you when you die. And they watch the sun rise together, and that kills her. But before he does
shady.
that, he puts the ring on.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, Carl, that was...
pretty crappy, dude.
Yeah, he puts the ring on, and then he marks her.
But to be fair, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he clearly is okay with that aspect of it. But he doesn't want, like, her loot is gone, right? Like, she dies with the loot. It's all gone. Prepotente is, like, he comes out of the ice, and he just goes nuts. He's like, I'm going to kill every single person responsible for this.
And he almost does, too.
And, yeah, I mean, he gets pretty dang far, and it's just, like, every so often you get, like,
so far, in fact,
hunters are dead.
So far, in fact, that he is, like, the number one at the end of the level. Like, he is the main...
Yeah, and you could tell, like, he's going sicko mode.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's so cool because every so often you get, like, a update from the AI saying, this hunter was killed by Prepotente.
Yeah.
It's like a couple pages will go by. Hunter killed by Prepotente. It's like Prepotente is going around and he's just killing all these hunters. So it's awesome. There's a quote that I loved right before. So there's this guy that the AI, or not the AI, the showrunners send in. He's a hunter, and they spawn him in, and he's got something with him that they need in order to go on and proceed with the quest. Like the people gave it to him, and they knew Carl was going to kill him, right? He was like an elf, like a shadow elf or something.
I can't remember.
And
Keep going.
Remember Carl, like, crushes him with his foot?
Oh, yeah. And he's got the rings.
Yeah. The rings, the nipple rings that they gotta all use.
But, like, Carl comes to the realization through this guy that a lot of these hunters are in the same position that he's in.
Yeah.
And it's like, our situation's not much better.
Yeah, he said a quote, though, that I wrote down because I'm just like, man, this is so awesome. He says, I had a world, a whole world. A world filled with people, some good, some bad, but most of us just wanted to work a little, live a normal life, maybe fall in love, have an adventure or two, and that was it. And it's like, man.
We're thinking of different guys.
That was robbed from him.
Yeah.
And then he just kills him. And it's like, you realize, like, in that moment, like, there are things that, like, Carl wanted in life, and it was stolen from him by these people. And it's like, Carl is such a deep character. Everybody is in this book.
Yeah.
Katya especially. Like, we haven't even talked about Katya yet.
Dude, Katya.
Because, I mean, do we want to just go to the epilogue of this book?
Because we've talked a lot. I'm sure we're missing something. But
essentially, we get this huge, bombastic final battle where everything is set up to where it's like a 1v1v1v1, and only one of these people or one of these groups is going to make it out alive. So you got the hunters, you have the praying mantises, you have
the praying mantis. It's just the god.
Yeah.
Oh,
right. You have the hunters, the god. You have the crawlers, and what's the last one?
The Empress lady.
Yeah, Vra and her people, right?
No. Okay, so you have the crawlers, the hunters,
Imogen.
the god, and Imogen.
Yeah.
And Imogen's like the biggest threat.
Yeah. So it's all of them are fighting each other and they're killing each other off. Obviously the crawlers win the fight, but in the end, it happens off screen. You know that Katya killed Eva, right?
Which is what she set out at the beginning of this book to do. Like, that's her goal. And so it's curious to see where she's going now. But,
and then you cut to the end of this book, and I think it takes place from Bautista's point of view, right? Because it's Bautista. It's not...
The ending?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe it's just a third person.
Yeah, it might just be a third person, but it gives you a clear picture of what happens to Eva.
Yeah, it does. So she's killing Eva, and right before she dies, Eva puts the crown on her head that Donut got in the second or third
of the
floor.
sepsis whore.
Yeah, and that crown makes it to where at the end of the 9th floor, you have to kill a god. Like, this god has to die, and only one person can make it out alive.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, not only is it just Donut that has to fight this god alone, it is now Donut versus Katya versus this god.
Yeah.
And just, like, the emotional, like, fetch, I can't believe this is happening.
Because you've grown from book 2 to loving Katya.
Yeah.
She is the heart, and she has grown, and she is this strong person now that she wasn't at the beginning. And you have Donut, who you care so much about because she's Donut. She's been your comedy relief, but also like this pivotal character throughout the entire series this far. And you have Katya and Donut, and you're like, I don't want to give up either of these characters.
And Donut and Carl have a moment in this book where she's like, I know I'm going to die. Like, there's no way I'm making it out of this. And Carl and Donut have like a moment where they're like, no, I'm with you. I'm not going to leave you. We do things together.
It's like this dagger hanging over their head.
Yeah, like
that is going to fall.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that now Katya is thrown into this fight is just like, and it was thrown on her without like her knowing about it, and she sees it happen, and she sees it, and then it appears in her inventory, and she's like, oh crap.
And it's already on her head, and it's like, oh, it took me from like, I was like, what the heck? Whoa, why did that just happen? What a fetching, I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
What an awful, awful woman. And I want to know more about the dynamic between these two, because there is something there that I am missing. And I'm like, I hate this lady. Well, why does she hate Katya so much? So. Yeah. But that hasn't stopped them from, like, revealing more about characters posthumously.
And then you got the ending. I mean, I don't remember if this happened before or after this. Was it both in the epilogue? Was the epilogue this intense? Because the epilogue before this happens with Prepotente, and throughout the entire game, like, they've been sending Donut. Like, everybody has been getting all of these, like, random items. And they're like, okay, give this to Donut, give this to Donut, give this to Donut. From different sponsors even. Yeah.
Like, it's not even just one sponsor.
And then Prepotente comes in and he's like, hey, I watched this game show. I talked to people. This is what this next floor is going to be. And he's like, give me all that stuff. And she gives it to him. And he assembles this device that goes along with this old childhood story, fairy tale.
Like the Great Race or something.
And he, like, cracks the game, and essentially floor 7 is beat immediately in the epilogue. So the entirety of book 6 or book 5, you have floor 6 and 7. So you got 2 floors in this book. And I was like, holy crap, this is insane. This book is nuts. Yeah. I cannot put into words how emotional this book was, how intense this book was, how funny it was, and overall it just slaps. Like, from page 1 to the fetching epilogue, it's all great.
And what's cool is, like, there is still stuff being set up, but it's not like how Marvel, like, is like, well, it's just stuff being set up. No, he's like, stuff is getting set up, but stuff's also getting paid off. And I am going to give you both the entire way through. And even though I'm going to let something get paid off, it'll still be a little bit of setup. I am so curious about so many different, like, things that are going to happen in this next book, but I'm really excited for Inevitable Ruin. Because that's going to be the book where we get to see the climax of this whole.
And maybe we don't. I have no idea. Maybe we don't. I haven't looked like at the cover of, like, or read the spine. I have no clue if, like, the next 2 books is like 1 floor.
Oh, that's true. It could be.
I don't know. And I refuse to look up anything on the internet because I'm like, hey, I do not want any of this book spoiled for me.
Yeah.
I don't need the AI. I don't need the freaking algorithm to know that I'm reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, because then I'm going to be swiping through YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels, and it's going to give me a massive spoiler. I'm going to be like, well, great. Now I know that's coming. Yeah. I don't ever want that with Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm loving the way it is right now. I mean, I don't really have much more to say about this.
Nah, it's incredible book. Incredible team that is. Matt Dinniman's great. Jeff Hayes brings a life that wouldn't exist in these books without him. it's just such a group effort, and I'm so glad that like I've been able to experience this.
Yeah, we've been off the train for, I mean, how long has this series been going? But I'm so happy that we're here. I'm sure there's things that we missed, and Digital Boy, I'm looking forward to your comment.
Always giving us some
because you always bring up the stuff that we forget to talk about and stuff that's important. So looking forward to that. Thank you to everybody that's been commenting and watching this video. If you made it this far, make sure you hit like and subscribe. We're going to keep doing this until the last book comes out. So, Jay, we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.